Morning everybody, welcome to Talk Tuesday today. I hope you're all feeling okay after last night's new moon eclipse. I don't know about you, but in the run up to it I was feeling absolutely exhausted, and I've spoken to quite a few other people who have been as well. I'm not quite sure when that exhaustion is going to lift, but certainly I feel a little less exhausted today, so that's good anyway. So I'm going to be talking today about fear of judgment. And it's something that affects all of us, which is really what prompted me to talk about it. We are all fearful of being judged because we have this need as humans to feel connection, to feel part of the tribe and to be accepted. It comes from, prehistoric days, I guess, certainly millions of years ago, when we very much needed to be part of the tribe, because if we got separated physically from them, then we were at the mercy of the elements and the wild animals that were out there. So it is an inbuilt human need to be part of the tribe, to feel that connection. We are social animals. We don't want to be cast out. We very much want to be part of it. And that's what leads to the fear of judgment, because we feel that if we are being judged by other people, they're not going to accept us, and we run the risk of not being part of the tribe. But what we need to realise is that it is also an inherent human trait to make judgments. That's how we process the world. We're making judgments all the time. You're making a judgment now about me, about whether you like my style, whether you like what I'm talking about, and if you don't, I guess you'll not continue watching, and that's absolutely fine, because we all choose what is right for us. Another easy example for you to think about when we make judgments is not just about people, but if you're trying to find a new house, we make snap decisions pretty much the minute we walk through the door. We know whether it's going to be right for us. So, that's one way in which we are judging. But we certainly make judgments about people, about whether they are our kind of people, whether they are people that we want to get to know better, whether we just think, no, they're not for us. But that is normal. The point that I'm making is it is completely normal. People will do it to us, but we do it to people all the time. And it's not a bad thing. But the fear of being judged, which our brain does to try and keep us safe for the reasons that I said at the beginning, that fear can hold us back. Because we want to fit in, we often don't show our true selves. We might even try and change ourselves or how we appear outwardly to try and fit in. I certainly did that in the past, and it did me no good whatsoever. It's quite exhausting, and it just makes you feel bad. Whereas if you can get over that fear and just trust in being yourself, it is so liberating. It just makes everything seem better, and you actually do then find your tribe naturally, because you find the people who are right for you, because you are being yourself, and you will attract the people who are right for you. So yeah, fear of judgment can hold us back. It can stop us from doing lots of things that we might want to do because we are fearful of other people's response to it. But we came to this planet as souls, as human beings, for a certain purpose, and that's related to who we are. And if we are not being who we are, not being true to ourselves, then we're not giving the world what it needs, because it needs us as we are. So if we are so fearful of being judged that we hide ourselves, we contract and we don't show our true selves, then we are doing the world a disservice, as well as doing ourselves an immense disservice. So, that's another way to look at it. It's all about being who you are, trying what you want to try. Doing these videos is an example for me. Those of you who've followed my videos for a while will have heard me say this before. that before I started doing videos, I'd wanted to do them for some time. I had this feeling that it was something I needed to do, but I was fearful about it. It comes from the fear of being judged, how people are going to view them, how I'm going to come across, all of that kind of stuff. And eventually I just thought, I've just got to do it. And yeah, I mean, I can look back and think and judge myself, you know, I don't like the first few ones that I did, and I still don't like some of the ones I do now, but I've got past the fear of judgment because it's something that I feel I'm called to do. And so I do it, accepting that there will be judgment out there, and that's fine. So acknowledging the fear of judgment is the first step really to overcoming it. Just acknowledge that you have that fear, acknowledge the reason for it, which is your brain and your kind of your bodily makeup really, from prehistoric times, the historical way in which we're made, trying to keep you safe. Acknowledge that, but also know that you can move beyond it. Accept that everybody judges, you judge just as much as other people judge. And I don't necessarily mean in a bad sense, we're just making judgments all the time as we're going through life. You know, we're looking at stuff. Think about going into a shop, you know, you look for whatever it is you want to buy, maybe a new jar of coffee, and you look at one particular brand and you look and you think, no, that's not for me, I'll put it back. Another one, nah, not for me. Next one, oh yes, I like the look of that, I'll buy that one. Those are all judgments. So when we use the word judgment, it can sound quite negative, but actually you can think of it in a different way as just being an assessment, maybe, an analysis. It's just a way of looking at the world. And so our fear of judgment is not really necessary, because that means we're being fearful of the way the world works. You know, judgments are being made all the time, and they're not necessarily negative. It's just people processing things and deciding what's right for them and what isn't right for them. But it's really sad to see people being held back by the fear of judgment, excuse me, and not trying things, as I said last week, for fear of making mistakes, but for fear of being judged as well. It really inhibits you. And if you can get over that fear of judgment and just think, yeah, I don't care, or maybe you do care, but I'm going to disregard that. I'm just going to accept that I do care about it, but I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to be myself and do what I want to do. And it is really so liberating, believe me. Back in the days when I was a lawyer and I was very much hiding the real me, people didn't know who I really was unless they knew me as friends. And I would get comments after I'd left law from people who'd known me back then saying, gosh, you seem really different. And the reason I seemed really different was that I was afterwards actually being me. So they were seeing the real me for the first time. And it's just, for me, so liberating. It's so joyful. It just changes your life if you can get over the fear of judgment by accepting that judgment happens in everyday life, but just be you. Do what you want to do. Be who you are, because you're the best person at being you, and you are here to be you. The world needs you as you are. So don't limit yourself by fear of judgment. So that's all I wanted to say about that. The only other thing to say today, for those of you watching live who are in North Devon, is that the Braunton Chakra dancing class is on today. It's still the school holidays, but I do have access to the school hall, so the class will be going ahead as normal at 7 o'clock this evening, and I'd love to see you there. Just a reminder, if you are coming along and you haven't booked your place on the website and you want to pay on the night, just let me know in advance so I know you're coming and I can make sure I've got enough seats available for everybody. So thanks as always for watching. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye for now.